This is Peter Ripley of the Ripley Report, and today, once again, I'm with County Commissioner Bill Peach. As you know, readers, I chimed about a certain letter that was published to the that was written by a city council. A citizen, and Bill, and it's concerning about the ethics code situation. There needs to be maybe a change in the ethics codes to limit, possibly limit campaign contributions from county staff to $50 in order to avoid any conflict of interest. And we read, and I think my readers read the letter, who read the letter, and can probably catch my drift on it about the implication that was made in it that the current board was not was it would have to wait till the next election. It just the implication that kind of set me off personally. Anyway, so I thought I'd come to talk to you, Bill, about this and see what your views on it.
No, I'm glad to, Peter. The first thing I'll share is I appreciate the fact that we've got citizens that are willing to challenge the status quo. And so I do want to show respect in answering the question. I agree with you. Just because it's an election year, you don't get to wait until elections are over to do the things that we were elected to do. So the issue that we're dealing with in the ethics code is just one specific paragraph. And at least that's what I'm proposing that we change in response to the letter that came to the commissioners. All the rest of that ethics code is unchanged. And here's the bottom line. I believe that if you're running for office, there's no way you should be coming into the courthouse and soliciting funds. I mean, the worst case scenario is the head of a department says, all right, everybody that works for me, come to my meeting and bring your $50. It's totally unethical, totally unacceptable. But beyond that, to tell a county employee that they do not have the right to give a contribution to whoever, regardless of the party, I think is it's an overreach of authority. And if you want to boil it down, I think that it's a violation of freedom of speech, period. So the old rule said that if there was a contribution that was being made, that the individual receiving the contribution should be held accountable. The real problem with the old code is, number one, it did not consider freedom of speech. Number two, the way it's organized, and it doesn't make any difference who that individual is and whether they're a county employee. So let's take the scenario where a contribution is made to a candidate for a port commissioner, okay? And according to this rule, the county would, are you telling me the county would have authority over an elected port commissioner? Because I don't think so. I think that the current language is incorrect. It's an overreach and a violation of freedom of speech. And so the way that I'm proposing that we make the change is it's in section 030, paragraph 3. No candidate shall solicit any public contribution from any public official or public employee. And then eliminating a lot of the things that I think are sincerely in error, inserting a sentence at the end: if a political contribution is freely offered, it is up to the candidate to decide whether or not to accept it. Very much simplifies this section.
Okay. Okay, do you have any comments regarding anything else that may have came up during the work session? Anything that comes to mind that maybe the viewers of here might want to be interested in
Well, I think,
and looking into,
yeah,
or
I
knowing.
definitely look for the final agenda for next Monday. Commissioner Ozias couldn't be at the meeting today because he had to deal with it's a voting issue. Each one of the commissioners has a responsibility to work with the auditor when votes are made. And it's basically a review of the signatures to authenticate the votes. And so what we ended up with was a couple of items that normally we would have discussed with Mark there. But I'll bet you he's at that for a few more hours. This is the presidential tallies. So I would look for good conversations on next Monday that will bring Commissioner Ozias into the picture. One issue though that we did decide to take action on, and it'll be tomorrow, even though I'm not gonna be there, I recommended approval of this item, and it's a letter from the commissioners to the Commissioner of Public Lands, Peter Goldmark. The basic idea is that in District 1, to help with the issue of water, let's look at the idea of a reservoir. And they found a spot, it's DNR property. And so this letter, I hope to be able to deliver it to the Commissioner of Public Lands, basically says we'd like you to consider this as an option.
Okay. Well, thank you, Bill, for your time, and I appreciate you granting me a little bit of time to talk about these few issues, especially according to the ethics code. It seems like the Ebola virus. It starts from the city, now it's lead on to the county and to the port. It's like the Ebola virus. Anyway, it's comical, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat about that and answer a few questions and give your point of view on that situation. Any final comments before we close up?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, Peter. You're welcome anytime.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bill, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Excellent.